a lady that's worked hard to win the Nightcliff, the Milner area. No, sorry, the Milner area. I'll take that back, Justine. Her name is Justine Davis. She's an amazing lady, and she's very approachable to talk to. And so yeah, please do not step back. She's more than happy for you to approach her if you've got an issue. So I'm going to welcome Justine Davis. Thank you, Justine.
Hello again, everyone. That's a nice way to be introduced, very approachable, and it's true. I see my job as being part of community and open to community, so thank you. I really like that introduction. As you know, my name's Justine Davis. I'm the independent member for Johnston. It's not Nightcliff, but very close by, Milner, Alloa, Jingley and Moyle. I just want to start off by acknowledging this land, this country we're on as unceded Larrakia Country here on the banks of beautiful Gurumbai, and pay my respects to all Larrakia elders and to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today and throughout our country. I want to honour the enduring strength, resilience, wisdom, generosity and grace of Aboriginal people across this land. We know it was, is and always will be unceded Aboriginal territory land. But acknowledgement isn't enough. Every day I remind myself that I live, work and walk on stolen land, and that truth carries with it a responsibility to act. As an ally, a resident and now as an elected representative, I'm committed to truth, treaty and justice, not just as slogans but as what we need to do to build a better future. So thank you for inviting me to speak today. For almost 30 years I've lived and worked based here in Larrakia Country, and I've also been lucky enough to spend time on other countries in what we call the Northern Territory. And these lands and peoples have sheltered me, fed me both physically and spiritually, housed me, taught me and given me a beautiful space to grow my family. I feel incredibly lucky and deeply grateful for all I have been privileged to receive. And that's one of the reasons I'm here today, and I do what I do, not to celebrate, but to confront the truth of this land's history and to commit to what we can do to fix up what's rotten. For so many of us, January 26 is a day of grief, a reminder of invasion, dispossession, and also of survival against all odds. And here, in the Northern Territory, these injustices aren't confined to the past. They're happening right now, and we've heard already a lot about that today. I was privileged to read out some words from Manari, Yingeguyala, the member for Mulka, and he said in Parliament, "We are going into a deep, thick rain." And it's not just metaphorical. We are going into a time where we're seeing more and more systemic racism, destructive policies, and the implementation of ongoing injustice. For decades, I've worked with people in conflict, witnessing these injustices up close, and now, as an independent member in Parliament, I get to see them being written into law. It's shameful. Since coming into power, the new CLP government has passed laws that are deeply harmful, target Aboriginal people and fail every test of justice, evidence or fairness. I think everyone here knows what these laws are, but just for the record, as we know, the government's lowered the age of criminal responsibility to children of 10 years old. Shame. This isn't just criminalising kids, it's actually reversing progress. We are the only place in the world that raised the age after research and consultation and then lowered it again without any evidence. This is a betrayal of our children and a betrayal of all of our future. The CLP government has criminalised public drinking in a way that blatantly targets Aboriginal people. Spaces where people gather for connection and community are now sites of over-policing and harassment. We've heard a bit about mandatory sentencing. They've expanded mandatory sentencing and introduced a presumption against bail. What this means is that more Aboriginal people are going to be in prison, and none of these laws make us safer. They deepen inequality and injustice. The CLP are openly celebrating the construction of more and more prisons and more people being locked up, and we know who's going to be filling those cells. Instead of more jails, we need justice. We need more housing, we need mental health care, we need education, we need jobs, we need to address the drivers of crime. What the government is doing now is cruel, it's ineffective, and it's a waste of resources. And as we heard about, they're proposing they're going to remove the Aboriginal child placement principle, which is at the heart of ensuring that Aboriginal children stay connected to their families, their culture and their land. This strikes at the very heart of First Nations identity and sovereignty. These laws aren't just bad policies, they're acts of systemic racism. They perpetuate the cycles of colonisation, criminalisation and disconnection that Aboriginal people have resisted for generations. So what do? First, we have to stand together and refuse to be silent. We all have a role. For me, that means fighting these injustices in Parliament, the People's House, the house that's meant to belong to all of us, and I'll keep working with my colleagues, one of whom's here today, to ensure that we make good law that serves everyone, not just a few. We have to amplify Aboriginal voices, listen to Aboriginal leaders, follow your calls for self-determination treaty and truth-telling. We need to make sure that Aboriginal voices are central to shaping the laws and policies that impact on Aboriginal people's community and lands. You know what needs to be done. We have to support you. We have to hold this government to account. We've heard over and over again the CLP say they've come in with a mandate. I just want people to know less than 50% in the Northern Territory voted for the CLP. That's not a mandate. They've got the same mandate as all of us, as me, as a member for Nightcliff, as a member for Mulka. Our mandate is to make good law for everyone in the Northern Territory, not just the people who voted for us. You need to tell them. Tell them these laws are not in your name. Speak to your representatives, use your voice and demand justice. And we need to keep advocating for systemic change. We need to raise the age of criminal responsibility to at least 14. We need to invest in health, housing, education, community-led solutions, not more police and prisons. Justice reinvestment works, let's expand it. And we need to make sure we protect the Aboriginal child placement principle and invest properly in child protection systems so that we can keep children connected to family, culture and identity. And we must face the truth about January 26th. It's not a day of unity, it's a day of grief and resistance. It boggles my mind that people can still say that they want to celebrate a day which causes people so much pain and suffering. I just don't get it. It's time for a national day that honours truth, healing and respect instead of celebrating a history of invasion and dispossession. I also want to take a moment to recognise the strength, the wisdom, the love and incredible acts of resistance and survival every day by Aboriginal people across this country. And these are the stories that we need to tell and amplify, like we heard the story about birthing on country. Let's not let our narrative be defined all the time by those who seek to divide us and breed hate and fear. Another world is possible. I wouldn't be doing this job if I didn't believe we could make change together. We need to resist what's harmful and damaging and fight for justice, and at the same time, we can and we are building alternatives, connecting with others, from our neighbours to organisations, developing models of mutual aid, celebrating the strengths of Aboriginal-led programs that focus on healing, culture and empowerment. Let's all support each other in building the world that we want. Solidarity is more than words, it's action. It's refusing to accept injustice. It's showing up, speaking out and standing together every single day. Because until we're all free, none of us are free. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Justine. The reason why she's the MLA in Parliament, fighting for our cause. Of course, that's there's only a few in there. And there's another lady that's also the MLA of the Nightcliff area. And to win this seat, both of them winning those seats was it's a pretty bloody good job, I say, against the Chief Minister, ex-Chief Minister. So Her name is Kat, and she's an MLA for the Nycliffe area. Thank you very much, Kat.
I won't take up too much time.